Okay, we're. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start. Are we ready? All right, we'll go ahead and get started. It's a smaller group, so I feel like I can be a little more comfortable. Okay. We will start with the invocation in accordance with Governing Board Policy BDDH, public participation in board meetings. The invocation will be offered by Mita from the Arizona International Buddhist Meditation Center. If we could all stand.
First, you want the blessings? Or
With whatever order you're
we'll do that at the end? Yes? Okay. So, can I start now?
Yes, please.
Okay. My name is Mitta, Reverend Mitta. I'm representing the Arizona International Buddhist Meditation Center. So actually, I was sitting in my chief's, the seat reserved for my chief, Reverend Ananda, but I'm representing him today because he's been involved in very busy schedule, ladies and gentlemen. So I feel very uncomfortable. You're standing. Please sit. Yes. Thank you. So the president, the members of the board members and the directors and rest of you. So actually a couple of days ago I contacted, with receiving this letter, I contacted Mr. Miguel Flores, but unfortunately he was very busy in a meeting, and one of the nice sweet voice came through the phone. A nice lady spoke to me just to ask, I mean, what kind of things that we should talk, because these kind of meetings are not really very familiar to us. We are on the subject of meditation and spiritual development, so I really did not know how this will fit into. So I was just asking, inquiring what kind of thing, but unfortunately he was supposed to be busy, but then I left 2 messages, but the call was not returned, so give me the freedom of presenting my own views and ideas. Understanding this, the assembly and the meeting is all about your public educational system. I think it's a very wise idea to get comments including criticism and suggestion and overview of the system from a person who loves the world, loves the people, rather than from a person who loves his personal system or my country's education, because it's become very biased. So if you let me express the inner feeling about the world educational system, not really specifying the educational system in United States. To me, it is kind of a forceful injection of information from the smallhood. This is what the present education means to me. A person has to completely forget about his personality, personal ambition, personal skills, personal talents, and he is asked right from the cradle to learn about the world, outside world. It's definitely expand the parameters or the fences or the boundaries of the knowledge. It goes beyond universes, multiverses. But finally, there's something he's lacking at the end of this education system. If he asks this question, tiny question, what do you know about yourself? It's going to be a very big question. How can we expect a person who doesn't know about him to know about the world? So who to blame? And where to adjust? Where to correct? This is where these kind of forums are very important. Although this tiny little talk, even if it is rejected and discarded, what we say here will be a very tiny seed in your hearts, and I hope one day it will grow to a very big tree. Why I say this is, sometimes if you have a bird's eye about the global educational system, especially in the Western world, to me it's kind of a religion with preset answers. All the answers are set, but you are asked to work it out until you get the correct answer. If you really very closely in the miniature form investigate and look at those exam systems with a big magnifying glass, ladies and gentlemen, you will understand that is nothing other than to test how much you can remember, how much you can recall. Actually, it is not how much you can recall, the speed of recall. So you are supposed to give answers in a given time. So you are going to work with the time. The whole idea is to make your life as speed as possible. From our point of view, our spiritual point of view, when your life is very fast, just like your car, you miss a lot of things in the world. A lot of things in the world. Even that few that you say that you understand is not complete, not clear, and not accurate. That's why I think people in this world suffers a lot. Because when they are dealing with things and people and incidents, just because they do not understand them very clearly, completely and accurately, they try to work with them with reactions. Reactions are based on instincts. So you really do not know when you work with reactions whether it is right or wrong until you get the results. So because you are living so fast, spiritual development, spiritual studies make your life a little bit slow. So it is so slow. Now you can see the world correctly and clearly and very accurately. So you do not react to anything. Rather you respond. The difference is very clear. Ladies and gentlemen, responses are well thought of. Taken the good time you really want to give the answer. So little bit of space between a question and answer, I know the present modern society cannot tolerate. They expect the answer well before the question is made. Nobody has the tolerance and the patience. So it is an essential factor in the modern days. If you look at the statistics especially about on the educational system, the school campuses, college, whatever you call the name, the educational institutions, it gives a very alarming, sometimes to me horrible, and a very serious information. I think this has not been taken up because statistics are not very well published among people. What I gathered from internet, let me present small details in front of you. In school campus system, there are 3 million index crimes per year. Can you imagine that? In the United States. 3 million index crimes. So also there is a separate survey, shows you 60% of those crimes are not reported. So whoever who done these surveys are working with available information. What do you mean by available information? Those are the complaints and reports of victims. So you see, when 60% are unreported, your true results even much more. We are talking about 3 million index crimes, starting from serious bullying to killing, anything in between. So if we all are here parents, whether they are directors or presidents or whoever in the audience, all are parents. So what do you think? Is your child safe? And it shrink down to 16,000 crimes per day, per school day. 16,000. And you can take it, if you want to remember this, try to remember this at this stage, just one crime every 6 seconds in the school system alone. So, isn't it alarming? It's not serious. And these things, they have done different surveys to find out what causes this amount of high crimes in the educational system. Alcohol and drug abuse. Now actually, according to your independent surveys done in this country, the lower age limit is still moving downwards. And premarital sexual involvements. We start with so-called dating. And of course, hatred related. More than the past, it's on the side of increasing gender hatred, religious hatred, social, ethnic, you name, everything is there. Overall concept of hatred, this poison is being deposited in those small soft hearts more and more. And somebody has to find out who filters this, where this is coming into these hearts. This becomes serious because these are the people who will forfeit this country's society. Okay, yeah, thank you. So, this is your society in the future. So what we propose, what we see is that it is an essential factor that spiritual studies and involvements should be a compulsory subject in the educational system for a country like this where it has a global standard, being example to the rest of the countries. So more than all those scientific information, high-tech information, things like compassion, kindness, selflessness, and helpfulness, friendliness, and thinking about other people more than you, that's kind of a spiritual concept should be grown within Sorry I took little more time from yours, but I hope I justified for that extra time I took. Lastly, let me bless Wayne Mansky, who's been under medical treatments. He needs spiritual help. So ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to close your eyes and be with you for just 2 minutes until I complete my blessings with concentrated mind. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Itipiso bhagavarahang samma sambuddho vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manussanang buddho bhagavati swakato bhagavata dhammo sandittiko akaliko ehi pasiko panaiko pachattang veditabbo vinyuhiti Supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho jupatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho jayapatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho yadidan chattari purisa yugani atta purisa puggala esa bhagavato savaka sangho ahuniyo pahuniyo dakiniyo anjali karaniyo anuttara punyam ketta lokaswati. With your concentrated mind, we all will come together with our all mental power and focus on the Wayne Mansky, our friend, will be better in every second to come in the future. He will get well soon. Whatever religion you belongs to, from your bottom of your heart, wish him well, please. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to call the meeting to order. We'll proceed with the Pledge of Allegiance that will be led by Ms. Holly Williams, Assistant Superintendent of High Schools. From there, please remain standing for the National Anthem, which will be observed via video. Thank you.
Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we'll start with some business. We will start with the approval of the minutes for the regular meeting held August 14th, 2018. Can I get a motion?
I move that we approve the minutes from August 14th, 2018.
And all in favor?
Aye.
And none opposed. Let's move on to the certificated and classified personnel request, including the addendum. Dr. Holmes?
Mr. President, members of the board, we're asking your approval this evening of the certificated and classified personnel requests, including the addendum.
Okay, can I get a motion?
I move that we approve the certificated and classified personnel requests, including the addendum.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And none opposed. Do we have any announcements or discussion as a result of that? If not, we'll move to the consent agenda. All items listed will be considered as a group and will be approved with one motion. There will not be a separate discussion of these items unless a board member or citizen so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. Alice, do we have any? I didn't see any on. Okay. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve all the consent agenda items.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And none opposed. Okay, with that, we will move on to the superintendent's report. Dr. Conley.
Thank you. Right, so I'm waiting for it to come up, and there it is. Awesome. Members of the board, President Smith, Clerk Beiner, thank you for the opportunity to share my superintendent's report. Beautiful faces of why we're here each and every day to make sure that they're college and career and community ready. Living up to our vision of unprecedented excellence. We love the power of the one team message. This is our information systems help desk, and they are lifesavers on the other end of the line when any staff members in the district have technology emergencies or issues. They assist anywhere from password resets, device troubleshooting, and so much more. So appreciation to them. Our promise, every student is known by name, served by strength and need, and graduates ready for college, career, and community. And so we kicked off our 2018-19 school year with almost 400 new educators new to teaching or new to Mesa, and one of these is Shannon Oseski, a first-year specific learning disabilities teacher at Taft Elementary. As you can see in just a moment, she is super excited about teaching, and we made a short video on how she prepared for her classroom. Rock, would you mind playing that? Love it. Love our new teachers. Our outcomes, 90% proficiency in 3rd grade, 90% proficiency in 8th grade math, 90% proficiency in 11th grade English language arts, and a 95% graduation rate. Focused on all students meet growth targets annually, and that all students are socially and emotionally strong, prepared, and supported. Those are our goals to be able to reach in 5 years. Again, our collective commitments, and rather than read each one of those, would just like to say thank you for a wonderful work session, being engaged and working collaboratively with all of us. We want to celebrate 2 of our district educators recently honored with state level awards. At the last board meeting, we celebrated Eric Von Berg, of course, who won the 2018 Presidential Award for Science and Mathematics Teaching. But our celebration isn't ending there. Hell Elementary 6th grade teacher Mandy Hill, who's just on the left, was named a state finalist for the Presidential Award. and it recognizes the best of the best in STEM education. Last year, Mandy was part of the Team Mesa, a group of 5 district educators who were selected to attend NASA's Microgravity University for Educators at Johnson Space Center in Texas. There is a significant time lag when state finalists are named and national winners are announced, and as you can tell, Eric was named a finalist in 2016. So it's likely that Mandy won't learn if she's won the national award for over a year. On the right is Marla Lauri, Director of Career and Technical Education. Marla won the Spirit of a COVA Award this summer, and the award is from the Professional Association of Arizona CTE Administrators. It's presented to a recipient who embodies the association's mission of community advocacy and leadership in CTE. Our 3 big ideas of professional learning communities focus on learning. And it continues. So this is Guerrero's 3rd grade teacher, Jennifer Jobs. Students are working on their AVID successful student activities. They're describing what they look, sound, and act like as college-minded students. Guerrero is one of the 32 AVID elementary schools in the district, and we currently have 48 K-12 AVID schools. For those of you that are not familiar with AVID, it stands for Advancement via Individual Determination, and its mission is to close the achievement gap by preparing all students for college readiness and success in a global society, which directly relates, of course, to our promise. And 99% of our AVID students graduate on time. Great celebration. Building collaborative teams. And I do believe we have one of our, well, the principal in the audience, Principal Cuddy, yay. This is the team of Hyland Arts Elementary educators who attended the Lincoln Center Education Summer Forum in July in the heart of New York City. Is any of the other teachers here with you? Nope, just you representing well, awesome. So pictured clockwise from left, top left, are Amanda Buckley, band teacher, Holly Harris, 1st grade teacher, Sherry Clanton, 6th grade teacher, Amy DeLong, 2nd grade teacher, Christy Cuddy, proud principal, and Melissa Perez, our kindergarten teacher. The team enjoyed hands-on workshops led by renowned teaching artists, keynote presentations by leaders in the field, inspirational performances, and rich discussions with colleagues from around the world. 4 years ago, Hyland adopted the aesthetic education model from Lincoln Center Education, and they systematically implement the arts integration program throughout all teaching on campus to enhance learning experiences for all students. Students and staff think like an artist, using music, theater, dance, and visual arts as doorways into their learning skills, which are critical to success. At the Summer Forum, the team created artwork that were noticed masterpieces at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, refined their questioning techniques, and designed and practiced implementing lessons. The purpose of the trip was to bring back their experiences and learning to share and collaborate with all of Hyland's staff throughout the year with the goal of improving their program and increasing overall student achievement. Not only did the staff collaborate with each other at the forum, but they also made fabulous connections with schools from all across the world: South Africa, Korea, Ireland, and China. In fact, they hit it off so well with the school in Shanghai, China, that they hope to become sister schools that collaborate across the globe. And now I'm anticipating some travel requests, right? Is that what's next? and then, of course, you will have to have chaperones, so awesome. Do you have anything to add? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for being here, too. I know it's long days right now. So focus on results. So in this photo, you see Dr. David McNeil, Executive Director of Research Assessment and Accountability, and East Area Assistant Superintendent James Driscoll, and they're meeting with Scott Eschman, Principal at O'Connor Elementary School. Helen Holland's Executive Director of Technology and Communication was also part of the team. However, she was the resident photographer in there and was taking this picture. Our 4 guiding questions, which we did a deeper dive in today at the work session. Master planning, another great photo around our grounds and our upkeep. And this will be definitely part of our bond and override update, but moving forward, having facilities that match the learning outcomes for our students. We will have bond and override informational meetings on these dates. These are being held at the high schools, but they're particularly also for all of the feeder schools in there, so the elementaries and the junior high, to be have the bond and override information, as well as superintendent town hall, so basically the state of the district. And Mr. President, this concludes my superintendent's report.
Perfect, thank you. Actually, one point of clarification or question. The bond and override meetings, that's just the ones that the district's coordinating? There's others that the community group is hosting?
Correct. Thank you.
All right. With that, we'll move on to the information presentation on the bond and the override, item 10.
I will prepare that.
And for both of you watching at home, we're still getting up to speed. It's a new year. Yeah. Yeah, so there might just be one person watching now. Yeah, Dr. Khan's wife used to watch and critique him. Or at least she claims she did.
All right, Rock, I'm trying. Give me just a minute. We're gonna present. We're gonna do presenter view.
We'll get back into our cadence.
All right, I might need some support.
I need to come up with some jokes. Time to entertain.
I know. Technology. No, I'm supposed to go to present and presenter view. Sorry, I'm having to talk out loud.
Oh, we have support.
Oh yeah, I forgot to do that part. Got it.
While she's doing that, I'd like to highlight we are one team. We have people sneaking out of rooms I didn't know exist. They come to our rescue and help us with our we are having fun tonight.
Okay, hold on. I think I got it. Hold on. I'm on it.
Hey.
Yay!
We will celebrate all of our successes, this being one of them. Thanks.
All right, so as we go through the bond and override election, this will, I anticipate not having any changes to this, but if you see any changes that you need made, please let us know. This was the final draft that we put through, and this is what's being shared with our public. So our two types of public school funding, which are capital and maintenance and operation, and it's extremely important for people, non-educators particularly, to understand that capital is used for basically buildings and facilities, while maintenance and operations really are the people within that run that. 2018 bond, an overview of our state funding, the history of our bond use, and then of course our current needs. So what is a bond? And it's important. Hold on, I lost my notes. I'm sorry, hold on. I'm sorry. Let me go there. Okay. The definition of the bond, of course, is just an obligation for the taxpayers to support us to cover the bond repayments for facilities. And since 2008, Mesa Public Schools has received $208 million less than calculated by the state formula. So, I know it. I really am having technological duties here. Nope. I think it's skipped two. Sorry, I'm usually a little bit more together. Okay, So for 2012, there was a bond that was voted and approved on, and the bond priorities were the building and campus improvements for about $156 million. Of course, it includes safety and security, student and staff technology, and transportation. Miss Helen, he might have to, we're not advancing. Okay, I'll just do this. Yep, I'm gonna have to. As we go, there's basically 4 buckets for the 2012 bond, the improvements to student learning, and these were the breakdowns of that as well. The 2 big ticket items, of course, were our campus improvements and then our new buildings at Westwood and Dobson. Moving through with campus safety and security, so video camera, security fencing, front office improvements. Student and staff technology, which implemented our one-to-one initiative at our high schools, and then updated our elementary and junior high devices, as well as the infrastructure for our technology. And transportation, 91 buses were replaced and much more efficient. It's one of our goals is to continue not only being able to provide what's adequate for our students, but also to be mindful of public taxpayers and their dollars and to use the most efficient that we can. As we moved forward in 2018, a community advisory committee was developed and recommended a $300 million bond for current needs. And the bond priorities are basically in the 3 same buckets, so campus facility improvements, technology, and transportation. And as we look at that, continues to look at renovations, repair, and replacement. Just on a side note, it was really interesting to listen to Tony Elmer at Carson Junior High in one of the oldest buildings in our district, built in the 1950s, I believe. So just, listening to him continue to have a great learning, but in an older building that continues to have a lot of maintenance. More money being put into our technology access to be able to expand that for innovative programming, but it really fulfills the mission of college, career, and community readiness, and then to upgrade our network as well. Student transportation, which I continue to find so interesting. How many millions of miles were driven? Do you remember? 7.5? 7.5 million? Wow, 7.5 million miles a year. That's insane. That's, sorry, side note, but wow. Right? I mean, that really is a impressive, not only of our efficiency with our transportation, but knowing that we need to be able to keep it up and running. So replacing 300 buses over the 6 years.
We need bus drivers to drive those millions of miles. Anybody that wants to drive a bus?
I know we might all have incentives of sitting around the table. Oh, CDL training on the weekends.
For the governing board.
So I think the important piece of this too is that if approved, of course, that it has to be voted for on November the 6th, that homeowners will see little to no increase in their tax rate. So that's important. The override, so just again an overview of the history and what is a maintenance and override operations, maintenance and operations override, thank you. And that is to be able to leverage our local control. And interesting enough, we have stayed at the 10% override for much longer than our neighboring districts, and so we're asking to be able to go forth to the public for a 15% override. And as a history, we've had a history of 23 years being supported. The first override that was voted and approved was in 1995. And right now it generates about $36 million annually. The last community approved override was in November of 2014, so 4 years ago. So what exactly is that used for? of course, being able to recruit and retain our excellent staff, being able to be an attractable district for our staff to be able to come to and stay. Increasing school security, staffing, academic programs, teacher training, and of course, the ever-needed classroom supplies. I love this visual. Is it gonna play for me? Nope. I am really having difficulties today. All right, I'm gonna move on. Increasing from 10% to 15% really is the result of the minimum wage. So I know that you know this statistic, but 3 years ago, 3% of our staff was within $1 of minimum wage, and now we have close to 48% of our staff within $1 of minimum wage. And again, it was a mandate from the state, but an unfunded mandate, and so the impact really is being made to the district around that. The advisory committee did recommend a 15% override for the current needs, again, to be able to compensate our employees, but again, to fund the increase for minimum wage. And if approved, there will be an increase of the tax rate. It's minimal in comparison. I guess I can't say that, can I? It is minimal. It is minimal. An increase of $7.92. And do you want to add anything around the conversation we had around the tax rate and assessed value, just for clarification? Any clarification?
Probably would get lost trying to explain that.
Okay. Thank you for that. Reminder, Election Day is Tuesday, November 6th. October 8th, last day to register to vote. October 10th, the early voter ballots are mailed, and October 26th, the last day to request an early voter ballot. Questions? Even with my technology deficiencies, thank you for that.
I think it was really clear and it was easy to walk through. It was clear, understandable. I thought that was a good presentation. I understood every single thing in that presentation. So if I do, there's going to be a lot of people who do now.
And you've condensed it, right? It looked like from the last time we saw it, it looked like there were 4 or 5 slides that were merged.
We've definitely taken a lot of input and tried to put that into the most concise form and simple, and lots of conversations, and the joke is one slide took about an hour of our time and it continued to take hours of our time. So we've tried to be very thoughtful around the message.
Very cool.
And I mean, big thank you to Helen Hollins and her team.
Good
Hours
job.
of work, so thank you for that.
Good job, Helen.
And Rock for the animation that we know exists. Is there any other feedback?
I think it's good.
Good. Cool. We don't need a motion to approve that. Just thumbs up.
Yep.
Go. I think we're good.
Awesome, thank you for that.
Cool. With that, we'll move on to item 11A. Item 11 is the call to the public. We'll start with a video on how this works. Then we do have a couple requests to speak, so I'll go in the order that they came in. If we could roll that video.
The Governing Board welcomes comments from the public. During the call to the public, please remember, each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. Comments must pertain to a matter that is within the jurisdiction of the Governing Board. This is not a forum to complain about an employee, student, or others. For this purpose, please use the procedures established in Policy KLD. State law prohibits board members from commenting on or discussing the matters presented. At the end of the call to the public, the board may ask the superintendent to review the issue or place it on a future agenda. A board member may also briefly respond to criticism of a board member or the governing board. Thank you for allowing this meeting to be conducted in a peaceful and productive manner.
New year, new video. Nice. We're upgrading. All right, with that, I'm easily amused. We'll start with Craig Pearson.
Good evening, Mr. President, Dr. Connolly, honorable board members. My name is Craig Pearson. I reside at 10246 East Diamond Avenue in East Mesa. I have 4 daughters who are currently attending Patterson Elementary School. I have one daughter who graduated from Skyline High School in 2011. And for full disclosure, I am also the principal of the East Valley Institute of Technology. I wanted to come to you tonight and discuss an issue of concern that I have of some of the current board election for the EVIT board. I'm not sure if you are aware or not aware, but currently we have 5 board members of our 9 board member board running, and it appears to be 9 Mesa employees or 9 Mesa or 5 Mesa employees running against current board members of the East Valley Institute of Technology. It also appears that at least 2 of the people perpetuating this are at the district level as directors, having their employees run as candidates against the EVIT incumbent candidates. And so I just wanted to bring it to the attention of the board. There's some concern, as was 2 years ago when a Mesa employee who is a career and technical education teacher ran for the EVIT school board and was elected. As the LEA over the EVIT JTED, which includes the satellite programs of the Mesa schools, it appears to me that there is a conflict of interest, which has also been substantiated by the Attorney General, of a member who currently receives funds from EVIT, or his program receives funds from EVIT, to also be a voting member of the board that allocates those funds. And now it appears that there's a concerted effort led by district leadership to take over the entire EVIT board, as there are 5 candidates from Mesa running against 5 candidates. It begs me the question of what would the other 9 districts that are part of the EVIT JTED feel with having one school district within the JTED try to take over the leadership and control of the JTED. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention and let you know that it is a grave concern of mine as a Mesa parent. I've been an advocate of EVIT for many years prior to me working for EVIT. My daughters have all expressed interest in attending programs at EVIT, and it does appear right now that there is some level of different district leadership of the Mesa Public School District trying to encourage their employees to take control of the East Valley Institute of Technology. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention, allow you to discuss that. I know your president is aware of some of this, but if you could just consider the idea of having teachers who receive funds from a district also being in control of those funds and what type of conflicts that may bring up, as well as just the general partnership attitude of trying to work with a group of people that seem to tend to have their own special interest in mind. So that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you.
Before he leaves, can we direct the superintendency to meet with him or talk to him afterwards about correcting some of that information, because some of that was not accurate. I want to make sure he gets the correct information.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Perfect. Next we'll move to Robert Covington.
Madam Superintendent, Board President, and other board members, I want to thank you for letting me speak this evening. I'm not here to defame anyone, but I'm Robert Covington. As a current board member for the past 12 years, I have some concerns about Mesa School employees who are receiving benefits related to EVIT. My concerns are based on the past experience as a retired public school career and technical education teacher for 34 years, including being an EPILA advisor. Having won outstanding teacher awards through Arizona Association in Career and Technical Education, my experiences have given me the awareness that it takes to create a quality and successful learning program. My concerns regarding the action of some Mesa employees, which seem to indicate a desire to create a coup or seize control of the EVIT governing board, that should be conducted as a conflict of interest. One candidate in each of the 5 2018 re-electing districts appeared to have been recruited by an employee of the Mesa School Districts, an auto teacher at Mesa High School, who is also an EVIT board member, which gives the impression of a conflict of interest. The names of the individuals and candidates I may mention is available if needed for your president board. I'd like to do it in private if you want to, as if you choose to. For unknown reasons, the Mesa employee and EVIT board member who is not named in a Superior Court hearings that have been going the last couple days has appeared in the courtroom seated with alleged recruited candidates yesterday and today instead of his classroom, possibly indicating his involvement with recruitment. Where are his priorities? The Office of the Maricopa County Superintendent of Schools have called EVIT wondering why EVIT candidates' petitions were being pulled for verifications. To my understanding, so far 4 of the 9 have failed to comply with proper numbers of valid signatures. There may be more. Allegedly, in one district, voting district, they were both disqualified. But a write-in candidate who appeared minutes before the deadline for registration, who teaches agriculture at Westwood High School, the same school and department as a disqualified applicant. Allegedly, 5 of the 10 candidates are connected some way through a Mesa employee. At least 4 of the 5 have had their petitions challenged for invalid signatures, and most do not qualify for the November ballot. The State Attorney General has previously contacted EVIT board members, or we have contacted the AG, about the EVIT board member, a Mesa school employee, conduct in this previous year. The AG verified there's a conflict of interest. Mesa has an outstanding reputation, which I'm certain it wants to maintain. With hoping to win its upcoming override, which you're talking about, and bonds elections, the district's integrity is reflected by their employees' actions, becomes all more critical. It is important by these employees' choices, Mesa does not lose CTE funds either. I'm hopeful and optimistic that the governing board will educate their district employees about conflict of interest. One must wonder, what point is Mesa School District accountable for employees' misconducts? In order to maintain your reputations as an honorable and forthright district, I'm hopeful Mesa will cooperate with the rules and regulations of the state of Arizona. Candidates should retire from the Mesa district before becoming an EVIT board member, as I did after retiring from Gilbert High School. Thank you very much. And I have a card for the president.
Yeah, you can comment, we can't.
Got it. Just as a reminder, we are doing both an internal and external review of our career and tech ed program in conjunction with EVIT. This has been a process that's been going on for several months now, and the final report will be provided to the board at the end of September, the 1st of October. And again, that's both internal and external.
Thank you both for your feedback. I think Dr. Conley's got some direction from us, and we'll
absolutely
do what we can do. With that said, I only have those 2 requests to speak. We'll move on to one of my favorite items after a long day. Jenny, item 12.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Thank you.